ahead to introduce our speaker for today. So I'll just let me read his profile to you. He's a very, very seasoned industry expert. And so our speaker for today is Mr. Chiagozie Nwizu, who is the Executive Director of African Franchise Institute. He is, an expert in all things franchise. And you see that as I continue to read his profile. So he's not just, he wears many hats. He's not just the Executive Director of the African Franchise Institute alone, but he's also the pioneer president of the Nigerian Franchise Association and the Managing Director of Franchise Business Development Services. That company is also the pioneer franchise development company in Nigeria and is a member of the International Franchise Association and a representative of the World Franchise Association. So you can already hear franchise. If you have questions about what franchising is, I'm sure that as you listen to him speak, he's also nicknamed Mr. Franchise himself. So as you listen to him speak, I'm sure you will get clarity on that. He's also an international franchise development consultant who has contributed in key capacities towards the development of franchising in Nigeria. So you can tell why we're trying to put this program together because that it still goes further, with his goal. He has also led and worked with a team of local and foreign experts that conducted a number of franchise consultancy services within Nigeria and in the international space as well. His goal is to reduce the 80% MSME failure rate in Nigeria and help people who cannot build businesses to buy one from successful and proven brands. At the same time, helping such successful brands and entrepreneurs to expand beyond borders through franchising. He's on a mission to making franchising the preferred business venture model in Nigeria as a strategic means of building sustainable businesses that operate best practices. Through his service and promotion of franchising, new jobs and other economic opportunities have been created in Nigeria. Like you read in the bio, you see, because of the work that African Franchise Institute is doing in partnership with the Association of Franchise, business members and FBDS, there's a lot of career opportunities created. And I'm sure as you listen to Mr. Chiagozie speak today, you'll be blown away and you will be drawn into the franchise sector as well. So Mr. Chiagozie, over to you, please.
All right, thank you very much, Stephanie. Hello, everyone. That got into franchising that we're not really doing very well. We need experts who are going to support the growth of franchising in Nigeria. So, those people that knew about franchising felt that franchising is not for Nigeria. So we heard things like, Nigerians, they don't agree, they don't respect intellectual property, they don't respect agreements, different things. But largely, those things happen because of what we call lack of system, right? In other parts of the world where franchising has thrived, the structure, there's what we call industry structure, key pillars that needed to be put in place. It was lacking. So those old generation franchises, they struggled. They could have done better. But the good thing is that we learn from their mistakes, Now, so many other people beyond the few that knew about franchising were absolutely, what we knew about has always been distributorships, right? Which in itself is a form of franchising. So distributorship came into the space. We began to build new franchises. We began to set up. So if you looked around, nearly, I would say more than 90% of the Nigerian franchises that you are seeing today around, if you actually know them, space were created by our organization, Franchise Business Development Services. And these businesses are doing well. They are doing well in their spaces because they now had to deploy their franchise instead of their franchise businesses with adequate structures, with the right systems in place. It's now research and development. There are professionals, there's experts, okay? And when I'm talking about franchise expertise, there are operations in people, management, experts in replication of systems, experts in franchise marketing. All these things I'm talking about are totally new, right? It is not a career, a kind of career that is known, is popular here in Nigeria. I remember the time that Pizza into Nigeria is a very popular by Eat and Go. It came into Nigeria. A lot of the experts that supported the brand had to be brought into the country. They were foreigners. It was difficult recruiting certain people, certain roles that were going to support the franchise expansion. Before long, the brand was doing within about the first 3 years, they were already doing about 130 locations across the country. And within that 3 years, they had beat every other food business in their space in terms of number of outlets. So I want you to follow exactly what I'm trying to explain, because you need to understand why we are calling you to join the experts. We want to show you the opportunities that are there, growing opportunities that are there. However, we have very limited subject matter experts around franchising that are going to support the budding and the growing Nigerian franchise sector. So because of the investment they had to make, it cost them a whole lot, right? This is an organization that we have worked with. It cost them a whole lot working with professionals that are foreigners. Of course, you know what it means to bring in expatriates to come and work and live and work in Nigeria. And then they began to train Nigerians. What do I mean by this? So you might be wondering, okay, what exactly is the difference? If you work with a typical Nigerian business that has multiple outlets, you are going to see certain roles like a facility manager who goes about setting up the outlets, right, in line with a specific standard, who goes about all the signages, the furnishings and fittings. There are standards that have to be kept to. You might also realize that there are some HR people, the HR role is whose HR roles are also different, just for the fact they are dealing with an organization that is expanding and replicating outlets at different locations. So the HR responsibility now involves seeing that people are recruited who have to follow certain systemized job descriptions, who have to, hold up the standards of the business, who have to become the brand ambassadors of the business, who really, in a nutshell, have to see that the same proposition that the business is known for at its head office or its model outlets, that they are replicated at all of those very locations. Any business in Nigeria that is dealing with this responsibility, replication of a certain model, that very business, the kind of HR expertise of the HR team, the kind of operational expertise of the operations team members, then you begin to talk about so many other like branding and facility management and quite a host of other roles. I mean, I'm still talking about people who work within that very organization to be going about strengthening and standardizing the operations of that very business. If you study, they're going to see that those guys, their job roles are different. It is different from the job roles of people who have only one outlet, who are working from the head office of an organization, a background, or more like I was given a back. I also noticed that more people joined us. I was given a background to the growing Nigerian franchise industry and how exactly the lack of systems and industry experts had led to the failure of quite a number of old generation franchises. And by the time we came into the space and with the establishment of Africa Franchise Institute, we began to see more and more experts coming in, and which are also the people who will be facilitating at this very training. So we began to train both the franchisors, we began to train the investors, the franchisees, but the more critical people in this whole thing, as among the stakeholders, are people like you who we are introducing to the Nigerian franchise, space, who are the professionals. And in what I said before, which I'm just recapping, I talked about a leading foreign franchise brand, the Eat and Go brands, the Domino Pizza, Cold Stone, and Pinkberry, who had to bring in foreign experts to drive the franchise growth, and they began to train because they couldn't find Nigerian career professionals who have the franchise expertise to support the expansion of their franchise program. They began to train the people that they hired. See, today there's still a huge gap, So that is why a foreign franchise could come to Nigeria, and within 3 years it grew to 130 locations. The food brand then, as at their 3 years anniversary, when they recorded this much growth, that had the largest number of outlets, had about 68 or 78 outlets. We know we have our peculiar challenges in Nigeria that affect business growth. But if you understand what the franchise system is all about, franchising thrives on standardization. Franchise has a franchise system has, if you walk into a franchise store, it is going to appeal to your 5 senses. There's going to be the sense of smell, the sense of touch, the sense of sound, what you see, and then of course different types of experience. The standardization is top-notch. The arrangement of the environment, what's it called? Their colors, for those of you here who might be in the branding and the marketing space, their brand communication standards. Then you come to operations, right? It has to be, if you taste the food here, taste the one in another part of town, they have to taste exactly the same. The people have to behave exactly the same. It takes a lot. And think of Nigerians. We are all here in Nigeria, and we know that we grew up in a chaotic environment. People hardly even respect the traffic light, run the red light. That is where we are, as a people. So the average Nigerian person, even an employee, finds it difficult to understand without training, which you see in a franchise system, why they have to do things the same exact way. Even the franchisee who takes that very franchise, so many times, as much as he idolizes that franchise brand that he had bought, because they are very successful, is a very money-making, venture, right? Many times they wonder, why do you have to always do things in a particular way? They do not know that it is in that systems and standardization which the franchise brand invested a whole lot in that is generating and sustaining that very success. So good thing now is that we have some of those old generation franchises. They are now beginning to sit up. They are having more experts that are supporting them. There is a franchise institute that is providing training for them. There are more and more experts who are coming in around. They can, to support them. So among the professionals now, among those of you that are here, there are professionals who might be looking to get employment to work among these leading brands. Can you believe this? That Chicken Republic, that has been around for the much I can remember, about 12 to 15 years. Within the past 3 years or so, has grown their number of locations from around 68 to currently about, what was the last update? I think something in the region of 240 outlets, right? It takes capacity. It takes expertise. These institutions need to be there. We need professionals like you, right? And what does that mean for you? What that means for you is that, you are going to be able to become a subject matter expert who would attract, if you are looking for employment opportunity in these organizations, who would attract very, very good, employment, package. When you become a sought after individual, you're going to be able to earn more, right? And then you become a leader in that very space. You become really, really very, sought after. The other part of the professionals we are looking for are the professionals who are independent and they're going to become service providers, right? I'm going to just share a slide of about, a presentation of about 6 slides. And there's a point where I'm going to show us a list of different roles and a bit more of explanation to these things. So in a nutshell, we have a budding franchise industry. We've had more franchise brands introduced in the space today than we've had in the past, couple of decades. around Nigeria. We have developed franchises in beauty, in makeup, in spa, in furniture, in laundry and dry cleaning, in phone sales and retail services, in virtually every sector you can think about within just the past 5 years or so in Nigeria. As we are talking now, we are building something in the region of 6 new franchises that are about to be introduced to the market. Who is going to support these very brands, right? MBDS, where we have quite a number of these very consultants, we're overwhelmed with work. We're overwhelmed with opportunities. We are looking for franchise brokers who are going to market franchise or investment opportunities, just while you even have your career, what you are doing. We are looking for experts who, this is now the more interesting part, hear me out. We're looking for experts who we are going to start, outsourcing to this franchise business. You go through this very training and get the certification. You can support a branch of or multiple branches of a particular franchise in the North region across the 6 geopolitical regions. You can have your career and then you just make out time, as a consultant and go to provide them this very support. I'll get into the details right away as I go ahead to share this very slide. Okay, so I'd like to get feedback if people can see the slide I'm sharing. Please, if you can chat or somebody can unmute to let me know. I'd like to be sure you've seen this as I proceed. Can anybody hear me? Can I get feedback, please? Can I get a chat or feedback? Can you see my slide? Anybody among the people on my team, can I get feedback? Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. All right, then. So let's go down into it immediately. So, I've given us roughly a background. So Africa Franchise Institute was set up to essentially support the growth of the Nigeria franchise sector. Part of what we do is research and development. We're organizing, knowledge sessions, breakfast meetings, all sorts of trainings and conversations. We're the thought leader in terms of knowledge, to use knowledge to grow the Nigeria franchise sector. We do this in collaboration with 2 leading business schools in Nigeria, the Enterprise Development Center of the Pan-African University and the Faith Foundation. So then for the Certified Franchise Professional Program is essentially, supporting professionals, like I've said in the background information I've provided, who either want to work as career professionals in the franchise industry or who want to become independent consultants, providing support because they have subject matter knowledge of the franchise sector. They are able to understand the pain points and the needs of these franchise businesses. Okay, why do you need the certified franchise professional program? There are recruitment opportunities and mentorship support that this program is going to be providing all the people that are going to be, participating. However, the program is divided into 2. There is a bit that is just about training that gives you, that helps you to become a consultant, and then you can also become a franchise broker. You can work for yourself, find investors. You can earn as big in commission from selling just one franchise. You can earn as much as between 500,000 to 1 million naira, for selling one franchise. All you need to do is to find somebody who is looking to start up a business and tell the person, oh, instead of struggling to build this business, why not buy Oriki franchise? Why not buy Slot franchise? Why not buy Chicken Republic franchise? That's all what you need to do. And once the people buy that very franchise, you earn your commission. It's as simple as that. However, there is the other part where there is now coaching and mentorship, where the people who go through this are going through a much more thorough preparation to become franchise consultants. They are going to meet leading experts. You meet a lot of quite some CEOs of foreign franchises and the most successful local franchises we have in Nigeria here, and quite some other experts in the franchise industry who are going to coach you and spend time with you it's not just a one-day thing. You can be in touch with them. So they are more like they're like career coach and mentors to you to see that you do well at what you do. And that also comes with an opportunity for you to now be introduced to businesses. So this is something that is guaranteed, to be introduced to businesses that are looking for consultants. Like I said, when we set up a franchise at FBDS, which is a consulting company I run apart from being the executive director of Africa Franchise Institute, we set up a franchise. Many of these brands, like I said, because of the gap of both the people that are to work in their system and the fact that they needed to do quite a whole lot of work to set up multiple locations. Sometimes we launch these very franchises, and within the next couple of months, they're opening 2, 3, 4, 5 locations. Some of those locations are beyond where the head office of this brand is located. They are up country, in Abuja, Port Harcourt, different places. So they want to rely on professionals like you to see that there is a sustainability, there's a hand-holding. The owner of that very franchise in that very location, he needs training, he needs recruitment support, he needs a financial oversight. There's is a hand-holding thing, right? Where you have a specific role in line with your career expertise. So if you are here, you are a HR person, you could get this very training and you get much more specialization in dealing with people problem for expanding franchises who need to recruit a lot of new people, and they need to train these guys, and these guys need to be able to sustain the brand goodwill and the propositions and all of those offerings that the business is known for. Okay, so we are going to be marketing to these very brands, and that gives you, you could earn something in the region of 250,000 naira on monthly basis by just visiting these very brands, maybe once or twice in a week, see what is going on, provide your advisory, do your report. There's a template on how to do that very work, which you are going to do. So that introduction means that we are securing you direct contract with these very businesses, and they last for a period of 6 months. So depending on your capacity, we can introduce you to more of them. This is the only way we can solve the problem of the huge professional gap in the Nigerian franchise sector. Working with people like you, all what you need to do is to deepen your knowledge in franchise specifics, become a franchise subject matter expert so that you can understand how franchises work, so you can understand the needs of franchise businesses, and then you use your expertise that you build. That's why we are working with you as a career. People that are here are people who are already, it's either you're coming having a legal background, or you're an operations person, or you're a facility management person, you're a branding person, you're a HR expert. We want you to provide that same expertise, however, as a franchise subject matter expert. Okay, so we need you to also participate in this very program, so that you can gain mastery in selling, professional service and delivering of professional services. Okay, so you could, we're going to be having a career fair, actually job fair, and then beyond that, you could approach many other businesses and with this very certification, let them know that you are an expert that can support them to standardize and achieve their expansion goals. Okay, it helps you to understand the franchise industry regulation. You get a certificate from Africa Franchise Institute. You learn how to leverage your network to earn additional income. That is for the franchise brokerage and all of that. There are more other values. Then this is the structure of the program. The program is facilitated by top industry experts with both local and global exposure. And it is delivered through online sessions. You don't need to come to any physical class. We have a total of 6 courses, which we are going to show you in the next slide. And then there is a hands-on mentorship. And then eventually we can help you with that. The recruitment we're talking about now is you being recruited as a consultant for these brands that are, looking for experts like you who would support them. Now, these are the different roles, the kind of people we are looking for them to participate in this training. IP law experts. So are you an intellectual property expert? Are you into operations management in what you've been doing over the past years? Are you a franchise, someone that is into marketing? You have both branding and marketing expertise. Are you into brand management? Are you a business developer, right? Are you a facility manager? Are you a human resource person? Oh my goodness, technology experts. Let me tell you what is happening in the technology space. Every single franchise we have to set up, they have had need for deployment of for business automation. So from what I'm explaining about the need for standardization about franchises. So some of you here will remember about some of the old generation franchises. Part of the reason why they had their problem is that you walk into some of their outlets and you wonder, wow, what's going on? This food is sour. Oh, the attitude of the staff here is very bad. Oh, they don't have AC here and I'm fanning myself. There are different things going on. These things, entire brand, made of the entire, that is, we have all these things under control. Part of what they do is that they have to bring in automation. These are part of the new things we've introduced, which wasn't available for the older generation franchises in Nigeria. Business automation with technology. We have ERP, need for ERP experts. So if you're an IT expert and you have knowledge in deployment of ERP and all of that, we have incredible opportunities for you. The demand is more than what we can meet. Again, we can introduce you to many businesses that are looking for experts who will both help them in deploying these ERPs and provide them ongoing support. Okay, so we are looking for franchise brokers. All these franchises we are developing, they are looking for investors. Any career person who has 5 million naira and upwards in his bank and is looking for a plan B, why do I invest this very money? Bankers, oil and gas workers, and all whatnot that in your network, they are potential franchise buyers. These guys have gotten their fingers burnt trying to invest in businesses, set up businesses by the side while they are doing their jobs. I bet that some of you that are here have also made such mistakes. The answer to that is franchising. They can invest in franchises, and then because of this system, and the standardization and the support that the franchisor provides them as a franchisee, there is very little or no existing chance that the business is going to fail, right? So you can sell franchises, just meeting people in your network, hanging out with friends over a drink, over coffee and all of that, in church, wherever you network and meet people, and you make quite a lot of money. Okay, so these are in summary the roles that if you are these are the people that this very program is meant for. Now the training, these are the topics that you are going to be learning. There is a module 1, which is specializing in franchising and other multi-outlet business models. There is intellectual property laws, contracts, and franchise regulation. There is business ethics and governance. There is professional career growth in business expansion. So you grow your career and you become an expert in supporting business expansion and providing franchise support services. Incredible learning you are going to get. There's now franchise operations and project management, very, very important. Very important franchisees. These are the areas of training. It is loaded and packed and is delivered by the best hands we have in this country. Some of them are foreign experts. So at the end of the period, which runs over a period of 2 weeks, you now join the mentorship program if you are interested in enrolling for the mentorship program with a guaranteed introduction to franchise business as a consultant. Okay, so that ends the slides that I have.
I know that somebody asked, is there a payment plan for this program? So Mr. Chagozie, would you like to address that?
I didn't get that. Say that again.
Some people have been asking if there's a payment plan, a payment option for this course.
You can address it. Go ahead and address it.
Okay, so the fee for someone speaking? Okay, the enrollment fee is 75,000 naira, and all enrollees are required to pay 100% full in full and a minimum of 5 days or 3 days. You can say 3 days now because of the timing before the commencement date for the program. Any more questions, please? while the mentorship support really is 75,000 naira. So the full package for this program is 150,000 naira. And trust me, you would need the entire package. You would need to go through the training. We've seen how juicy the courses are. We've seen the depth. I mean, you can be an expert by franchise expert by just going through this training and having the opportunity to come under the mentorship of franchise experts that have been in this industry way ahead, of you. That so the mentorship period is from 3 to 6 months. I'd like to say it's dependent on your behavior, but once after you and that you can pay that upfront, you can pay that with the training fee, or you can decide to store and say, okay, 2 weeks after, once I've completed the training, I'll go for the mentorship, and you see your career, skyrocketing to the next phase. This professional program that we are offering is something similar to what's done all over the world. Professionals that work in the franchise industry are to be certified. You have to be certified. It doesn't happen by chance. And now is the time to build your career. Like Mr. Chagozi has said, the franchise sector industry in Nigeria is expanding. And this alone would position you and say, listen, a moment fee might not be 75,000 naira, it might be more, the way things are going now. Now's the best time to invest in yourself. Okay, some poll questions are going to be launched right now, and so we just like to just have your feedback with that. Um, if there are no more comments, if there are no more questions, we'll just like to. I know there are a lot of people that have been wanting to, that have been reaching out that they cannot make it because of network challenges. This session is recorded and it's going to be uploaded on the African Franchise Institute YouTube page, which is going to be shared right now. Kindly follow on YouTube, follow the Instagram channels, follow us on LinkedIn for more updates as to the progress of this webinar, of this session rather, and just to see all the information that's going to be released about the program. Kindly follow us on Instagram. So if there are no more questions, we'd like to appreciate Mr. Chiagozie for taking time to speak to us today about the vast opportunities and just enlighten our minds on the possibilities that are available to us. And so we just thank you, sir, for coming today. We're glad that we've heard all of this from you. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you so much. And to you guys out there, I was really looking forward to a lot of interaction. I don't know why we didn't ask questions. I was really looking forward to hearing us because it's really quite some interesting things going on in the industry, which gives you great leverage for your careers as an expert. I don't know if I need to just give a little bit more of time to see if anybody want to ask any question on that. Stephanie, maybe I could just wait for a few more minutes for the poll question before I drop off. To see if anybody has any question, even if it's just about more insight about what's going on in the industry beyond attending this other program. Okay, I will drop off in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Right. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm way too excited. This has been a very exciting session. And what you ought to be doing right now is just go spread the news. You have friends that are looking to transition into a more stable and secure environment. One of the things about working or having a career in a franchise establishment is that franchises are a more secure career opportunity. There's statistics that say that just 99% of the franchises succeed. So if you have friends that are concerned about job stability and security, and having to not worry about if the corporation is the organization is going to fold or anything. Working in the franchise industry is a very, very stable environment. What you ought to be doing right now is to go to our Instagram page, share, tell your friends about certified professional program, tell your friends that you can make money from the comfort of your home. From the comfort of your home. Somebody's asking, as a new graduate, how can I benefit from this? As a new graduate, how can I benefit from this? Mr. Chagoze, do you want to go ahead and answer this question?
Okay, so the way a recent graduate could take advantage of what's happening in the franchise sector would be, because you're not yet a career professional. The opportunities are both for people that are career professionals who would become franchise-specific subject matter experts, so that they can work in all these big franchise brands or become consultants to them. The other opportunity is to become a franchise broker, which as a franchise broker, you can, which is really a very good, I don't know if I should call it a side hustle for you, but it's actually a training you get and work for yourself. That's what I meant to say. Working for yourself would mean that you just need to approach people in your network, approach people, they have money. The older franchises we have were the big food businesses. Today, for you to set up a restaurant like Chicken Republic, the investment had gone from around 50 to 80 million naira used to be, to about 250 million naira now. So, but we've also developed a number of smaller, franchise businesses that require smaller capital investment. Some of them require as little as 4 million naira to set up. Some are 10 million naira, 20, 30. So that gives you opportunity to meet people who, if they have such amount of money, and they are anybody that is looking to set up a business is a potential franchise investor. Anybody looking to buy a property or build a property or do all these startup, the rate of startups we have in Nigeria is incredible. Startup failure is incredible. As high as 85% of startup businesses will fail within the next 5 years. And the statistics that Stephanie gave says that globally we have only 15% franchise failure rate. In South Africa, it's even as little as only 5%. All the franchises that were set up in South Africa between the appetite period and now, only about 5% of them have failed. So if you, as a fresh graduate, you become a trained franchise broker, and you meet people in your network who you hear they are going to set up a business, and you tell them, this business you are setting up, do you want to be among do you want to stand the risk of 85% failure rate as we have generally? Why not you buy a franchise? Why not you buy a franchise that when you set up, you buy the franchise, it has a very high chance of they help you to find the location, they help you to furnish it, they help you to recruit your team, they train you and train your team. They send you people like the franchise consultants we are also engaging here, who are going to come for 6 months and support that business for, to see that it achieves the track records that the model of that very brand is known for. It is so easy to own a franchise. The risk of failure is not there. So this is all what we are going to train you with the knowledge that you have for you to be able to do. And like I said, you could earn as much as 500,000, $1 million, or even more from just selling one franchise. The Oriki franchise, if you sell an Oriki franchise today, you're going to be earning well over 500,000 naira from just a referral, talking to somebody to say, we set up an Oriki spa, So that is the opportunity you stand, working for yourself, leveraging your network. The training will show you where you need to meet the people, what you need to tell them. and a whole lot more. I mean, I hope that quite answers that question.
Thank you very much, sir. So that question has inspired other people to ask more questions. So somebody's asking, what does the mentorship incorporate, and what is the duration of the mentorship session? I believe his person is just trying to know the details of the mentorship, how it's going to work, what's going to be involved in the whole mentorship session, and the duration.
So I had said that the mentorship beyond training. So this training is a 6-day training, 6-day training will give you quite a lot of knowledge. It will give you a certification. You can approach people and say, here's my certificate. I am a certified franchise consultant. However, with that, it will have to be when you find a job opportunity. It will also help you if you are looking to get a job with all these big franchises, like I said, to work in those organizations. That certification alone can give you a career leap. You can earn a mentorship. The mentorship is going to put you in touch with CEOs of leading franchise brands and some other franchise experts who are going to have access to, who would advise you. It depends on really your career background, and that is even part of the advice, how you can make the most. Okay, you are an operations person or you're a HR person. What are the opportunities that are there for you? They tell you a whole lot. They tell you from their experience growing brands that have 100, 200 outlets. Some of these CEOs have worked in several countries. I know a number of them have worked in about 5 different countries. Some of them are foreigners. So having access to them, they will advise you, okay? And it becomes a very, very useful thing, especially if you're going to be a consultant, that helps you to do very well at what you do. The other benefit there is that if you go through that very mentorship, meanwhile, you can't get only mentorship without getting the certification. The recommendation is that you should get certification and also the mentorship. So if you get that very mentorship, where it gives you access to introduction, guaranteed is a promise that will be kept. By the Institute, that we are going to introduce you to these business stands. They will give 3 months to 6 months contract. Is almost double of what you easy opportunity. And really and truly, it will not be this by the next time we're doing this in next year. We really are in need of people. Definitely, you can't get this program for 250,000 naira. We are going to, outsource you to these very brands, and because you have that beyond your training, that very mentorship and the coaching, it gives us also the confidence that you will not disappoint when we introduce you to these brands. Also, I require for you to visit the business maybe twice in a week and spend time with them, and other things you do them within your time and in your space. And the template on how you're going to do that job is part of what you're going to be given for going through that very mentorship program. I hope this satisfied as the question.
Wow, that sounds really, really interesting. Just by taking a program of 150,000 naira once, you get the opportunity to earn 250,000 and above back and should, jump at. Tell your friends, if you have family that keeps bugging you to send them urgents, urgent ticket, tell them they should enroll. Career professionals that probably are still waiting on something, or instead of trying to japa, this is the next big thing in Nigeria. Franchising is the next big thing, and you need to plug into it and believe in it. Okay, so there are no more questions.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm
There are no more
going to drop
questions.
off right now. Yeah, we're looking forward that as many of us here who are satisfied with the session and would like to take advantage of it would make immediate commitment. Stephanie, I believe, has provided all the required information for this. The program starts in a matter of about the next 1 week or a couple of days. So congratulations and see you at the program. Do have a nice day.